During the post-war period, Patek Philippe expanded its electronic and atomic horological research in the quest to make the most accurate timepiece possible. Timing accuracy literally meant the difference between life and death. Governments and institutions challenged Patek Philippe to make the most accurate timing systems that they could ever possibly make. This is the story of Patek Philippe electronic clocks. Best capturing this spirit is this Patek Philippe ad from 1959 with a caption stating, "Patek Philippe has left a deeper impression on the history of watchmaking than any other company. Mechanical, photoelectric, electronic, and nuclear." See, here we have a modular, integrated master timing system. What is that, you may ask? This is where time originates and is truly kept. And it is the most accurate timekeeper available. It was the most accurate timekeeper available in the 1970s and 80s. Through this master clock, there was a series of subsidiary clocks, and I'm going to show you how they were connected right now. And you were able to, through a series of wires, connect this master clock to a series of subsidiary clocks. It would reflect the exact time that you see on the master clock. This same system was used in many important buildings through the 1970s and 1980s. Also used ships. Governments were buying them. Major corporations were buying them. Even the Vatican bought a Patek Philippe timing system that was used for decades. This particular example from the Geneva airport is really the most cutting-edge technology of the era and 1970s timekeeping at its best. These were very expensive at the time, much more money than any wristwatch you could buy. It was a system that had a number of redundancies. So if for power outage or for if there was ever a damage from a storm, etc., there was ways to make sure that those subsidiary clocks would still function, because timekeeping literally could mean the difference between life and death. Another place that one of these systems was famously used was, interestingly, at one of Patek Philippe's traditional competitors, at Rolex. Rolex did not have that technology, and they bought a Patek Philippe system from Patek Philippe and colored it green just to fit within their corporate colors, and that was used for decades within the Rolex factory in Geneva. Other places that they were used were power plants, and there were a number of power plants throughout Europe that used these modular integrated master timing systems, including this example of a T3 timing system. This was used at a power plant in Germany and was used for decades until it found its way to America recently. I have all of the instruction manuals and service records of this piece. During the 1980s, we start seeing Nixie tubes being used within Patek Philippe master timing systems. Here on the second rack of this system, you can see in red is the Nixie tube system, which is so much fun to have. And when the Nixie tubes still work today, because they are not easy to fix when they break, when they still work today like this, it's absolutely a fantastic readout in a pre-LED universe. So this is a smaller master timing system. As the technology developed, it's miniaturized. And in this system, still works to this day. Now, there's a very special subsidiary clock I'd like to show you now. And that is this, as you've seen in a former video, with a clou de bourre pattern or a hobnail pattern, this subsidiary clock. This is a double-dialed subsidiary clock, which would have been used outside on the street. This is only about 10 to 15 years old. So this style of subsidiary clock is exactly what we see at the United Nations in Geneva. Patek Philippe generously donated over 100 of these clocks for use within the UN. They have also agreed, Patek Philippe Geneva has agreed to monitor, service, and care for these clocks until the year 2050. So you can see there's a very generous donation, and these beautiful clocks can be seen in Geneva to this day. So using this technology from the master timing system, it was actually miniaturized to be used by watchmakers in a very functional way. Because here we have, to my left, a multi-cap timing system. We've seen these appear at auction over the years, but no one quite understands what they do. But I'm here today to explain to you what a multi-cap is used for. It's simply a timing device to time your watches, whether they're quartz or mechanical. This unit here on top is what holds the watch. And then you place it. A mechanical watch goes over here. Crown goes between these two bits. It clamps in place. And you can see with this Nixie tube, it's reading how many hundredths of a second the watch is accurate to within a day. This unit also is set to test beta 21 calibers. You can see a reference 3597 here on the instructions. So we could even read quartz watches. It's a very functional tool, very much part of Patek Philippe's history. The tool itself is called the reference 474, and I have to say is a prized part of Collectability's collection. In conclusion, Patek Philippe's horological heritage with these electronic timekeepers is something that cannot be forgotten. It's something that should be studied, understood, and collected. For these beautiful objects today were the functional objects of the past, and they've helped inform Patek Philippe's timekeeping in the modern era. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe Collectability on Instagram, also on YouTube, so you don't miss any of these videos coming out in the future. Really appreciate your time today. Please enjoy the hunt.